how can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Come on, like the way different and everything, it make no sense. It make no sense. Nikisa reached out the other day and tell me how they need a replacement for Gervonta. Then I say, okay, what can I do for you? He said, yeah, we're looking for a replacement, but I still haven't get it. I was like, okay, then what exactly can I do for you? Like we think about you to fight Jake. I'm like, what? I'm like, who's Jake? I was so confused. I'm like, no, bro, come on. Don't disrespect me like that. He sent out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number. I'm not just interested. He make no sense for me.
Is it flattering at least that they're thinking about you?
I think it's disrespectful instead. What flattering? Come on.
Jake Paul goes from fighting Gervonta Davis to calling out Francis Ngannou. Jake Paul don't want those problems. I can't say it any different. Jake Paul does not want any Francis Ngannou problems. He don't. He does not want those issues. While I think it's crazy and I credit him for doing that, and I'm surprised he did that, this could be a ploy. Him poking out his chest, saying, I want Francis. He don't want those Francis Ngannou problems. I don't care what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou. Jake Paul gets in there with Francis. Francis will knock his head off this planet. You don't want those Francis problems. I watched Francis put down Tyson Fury. Sure, Anthony Joshua beat him. But even if Jake got power, I don't think he got power to be dealing with Francis. Because all it takes is for one to land and he going to put you out.
Chaos has just hit the fight world again. The highly anticipated showdown between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul has been officially canceled after shocking reports of a domestic abuse lawsuit forced Davis out of the bout. But instead of backing down, Jake Paul's already stirring the pot, calling out none other than Francis Ngannou as a potential replacement. What was supposed to be a boxing spectacle has suddenly turned into a headline-grabbing frenzy, and the internet can't stop talking. Let's break down the ever-building story.
ライアン・ガルシアが代わりにやってくれる人は誰だろう？彼らがそこでやっていることの意味をなす領域にいる。他に思いつく人物は彼だけだろうか？ネットフリックスで配信されているめちゃくちゃ巨大な番組だ。もう一人の A 級プレイヤーでなければならない。同じくらいビッグな人じゃなくて、同じくらいビッグな人でなければならない。大物でなければならない。
アンドリュー・テイト、いや、背の低いオーナーだったらよかったのに。ジェイク・テイトは最高だろう。ジェイク・ポールがテレンス・クロフォードにアプローチしたと報じられている。なんてこった。フランシス・ネアーノ、ライアン・ガルシア、ネート・ディアス、フランシス・ナノ、それは。
It started when the news broke out of the Baltimore boxing star Gervonta Tank Davis, who is once again under the microscope and this time facing fresh allegations of abuse from a woman identifying herself as his former girlfriend. According to reports from the Baltimore Banner, Courtney Russell has filed a civil lawsuit accusing Davis of multiple offenses, including aggravated battery and false imprisonment. She alleges the boxer assaulted her on several occasions throughout their relationship, with the latest incident said to have taken place earlier this week in Miami.
Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta Tank Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend. This is according to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner. Courtney Russell says she dated Davis for 5 months and recently filed a civil lawsuit accusing him of aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and other offenses. She claims Davis physically attacked her a number of times during their relationship. Russell claims the most recent incident was Monday at a Miami nightclub. Davis is scheduled to fight Jake Paul in Miami on November 14th.
Moments after the allegations surfaced, Jake Paul took to social media with a flurry of posts aimed squarely at Gervonta Davis. He slammed the boxer over the accusations, saying he refused to give someone like that a platform, and went as far as calling Davis a strange and a garbage individual. Wrapping up his tirade, Paul hinted that everything happens for a reason, suggesting that this fallout was part of a bigger plan. His words spread like wildfire, adding even more fuel to an already explosive situation. Paul's reaction set off a wave of responses across the fight community, and one of the loudest came from former world champion Carl Froch. Weighing in on the controversy, Froch didn't hold back, calling the allegations against Gervonta Davis deeply serious, and saying there's absolutely no justification for a man to lay hands on a woman. As a husband and father of 2 daughters, he spoke with emotion, insisting that anyone proven guilty of such actions should be behind bars. While acknowledging that the claims are still allegations, Froch said the entire situation, from the botched fight buildup to the legal drama, has turned into a complete circus.
These allegations against Gervonta Davis, they're very serious allegations. Anybody that's laying hands on women needs to be shut down straight away. They need to be, for me, they need to be locked up and the key thrown away. You shouldn't touch women. They're not there to be touched and have their hands laid on them. I've got 2 daughters. I've got my wife, my mother. Anybody out there who's close relationship to women knows you do not lay your hands on women ever. Don't touch them. And if you do, you should be imprisoned. As simple as that. That's my take on it. It's totally out of it. It's really serious. Tank needs to get a grip and stop doing what he's doing because he's got previous. This is all alleged, don't forget. This is all allegations. So we're not trying to convict anybody here on Froch on Fighting. We're just pointing out the facts. He's been accused of all the serious allegations from earlier. It's not good enough, and from the fight being made to the weight disparity to Gervonta Davis being a wrong un in terms of these allegations, the whole thing is just an absolute circus.
And then there's Chael Sonnen, never one to shy away from controversy. He questioned the logic behind scrapping the fight altogether. He acknowledged the seriousness of the allegations against Gervonta Davis, but wondered aloud what that had to do with the actual matchup. Sonnen pressed the issue, asking whether Jake Paul's camp was pulling out because of public image concerns or if a potential legal process might genuinely interfere with the fight. He argued that plenty of fighters have faced accusations while still being granted licenses to compete, suggesting this could be more about optics than legality. As always, Sonnen's take added a sharp edge to an already complicated situation.
Tank Davis has a potential pending legal issue. And I don't want to dismiss that. I don't want to make light of that, and I don't really know anything more about it. But what's that got to do with it? I mean, what are you telling me? Are you telling me that there could be some paperwork filed that is going to drag Tank Davis and his legal team in a direction? What would that have to do with fighting Jake Paul? Now, is that because you don't want to do business with a guy that could have those accusations out there? You don't do business with any guy that happens to have impending legal issues. I'm asking. I'm giving you an opportunity to answer the question. You don't believe in innocent until proven guilty, or maybe you got a state commission, and the state commission, which by the way gives a license, which is a privileged license, and perhaps they are going to warrant it under review, and it's going to hold up the fight. I mean, I'm just throwing all these different options at you. I'm trying to understand. If Tank Davis has a contract and a promise to fight Jake Paul, and Tank Davis is willing to honor that contract, and Tank Davis is not injured or ill, then what are we talking about? What could it possibly be? Why would we stop from doing that fight? Is it a criminal charge? Is it a civil charge? Is there What would stop him from doing that fight?
Content creator Wade weighed in with his own take, admitting he was actually starting to get excited for the matchup as it got closer. He pointed out how Jake Paul had been training with high-level names like Shakur Stevenson, Ray Ford, and Montana Love, clear proof that he was taking this fight seriously. Wade said he'd even been curious to see how those sparring sessions were going down in Puerto Rico, calling the matchup more intriguing than he'd initially expected. But that excitement quickly shifted when news broke of the fresh domestic abuse allegations against Gervonta Davis, leaving Wade to note that the whole event might now be on the brink of collapse before it ever even happened.
Möchte ich sagen, dass ich mich immer mehr für diesen Kampf interessierte, je näher er rückte. Ich habe Videos von Jake Paul gesehen, wie er mit Leuten wie Ray Ford, Montana Love, Shakur Stevenson und anderen in seinem Camp trainiert. Ich habe ein Bild gesehen, kein Video. Ich würde gerne das Video von Jake Paul beim Sparring mit Shakur Stevenson sehen. Ich möchte wissen, was da unten in Puerto Rico vor sich geht. Ich habe euch das schon oft erzählt. Jake nimmt diese Kämpfe sehr, sehr ernst. Und ich dachte mir nur, okay, das wird ein bisschen interessanter, als ich bisher dachte. Ich dachte, es würde ein bisschen ein Missverhältnis werden. Ein bisschen wie ein Boxerlebnis für Jake Davis. Jake bringt die Größe und die Kraft mit und wir werden eine dieser Pattsituationen erleben, in denen niemand ein echtes Risiko eingehen will und beide Jungs bezahlt werden. Es stellt sich heraus, dass vielleicht keiner bezahlt wird oder Gervonta Davis von der Liste geworfen wird, weil wir einen neuen Nicht-Champion haben, sondern einen neuen Vorwurf wegen häuslicher Gewalt gegen Gervonta Davis.
Wade went on to say that while some of the past allegations against Gervonta Davis have been dropped or not fully pursued, the repeated pattern can't be ignored. He noted that this marks roughly the 4th or 5th time Davis has faced accusations of domestic violence, raising serious questions about why he keeps ending up in these situations. Wade pointed out that with some incidents already caught on camera in the past, it becomes harder for fans to dismiss the claims or separate the fighter from the controversy surrounding him.
Es gab viele Anschuldigungen gegen Tank, einige davon wurden fallen gelassen, andere wurden nicht wirklich weiterverfolgt und man weiß nicht wirklich, was bei den Leuten hinter den Kulissen vor sich geht. Aber wenn so etwas immer wieder passiert, ich glaube, das ist sein 4. oder vielleicht 5. Vorwurf der häuslichen Gewalt, muss man die Person, der so etwas vorgeworfen wird, hinterfragen und sich fragen, warum gerätst du immer wieder in solche Situationen? Und so, wie es beschrieben wird, haben wir Tank einige dieser Dinge bereits vor der Kamera tun sehen.
As the uproar over the cancellation grows, attention is quickly shifting toward who might step in next. The rumor mill is spinning fast, with new names being tossed around, especially of Francis Ngannou and Michael Bisping chimed in with an update, citing boxing insider Mike Coppinger's report that Jake Paul's return might be pushed to December, with the November 14th Netflix exhibition now in serious doubt following the allegations against Gervonta Davis. Sources told Ring Magazine that new dates, December 12th or 19th, are on the table. Bisping added that 2 big names are already being floated as potential replacements: Nate Diaz and, in a shocking twist, former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou.
Das alles geschieht in Echtzeit, also müssen wir darüber reden. Was ist los mit dem Kampf zwischen Jake Paul und Gervonta Davis? Die Analyse. Los geht's. Erstens, zuerst möchte ich sagen, dass ich mich immer mehr für diesen Kampf interessierte, je näher er rückte. Ich habe Videos von Jake Paul gesehen, wie er mit Leuten wie Ray Ford, Montana Love, Shakur Stevenson und anderen in seinem Camp trainiert. Ich habe ein Bild gesehen, kein Video. Ich würde gerne das Video von Jake Paul beim Sparring mit Shakur Stevenson sehen. Ich möchte wissen, was da unten in Puerto Rico vor sich geht. Ich habe euch das schon oft erzählt. Jake nimmt diese Kämpfe sehr, sehr ernst.
But when Francis Ngannou's name started circulating as a potential replacement, the former UFC heavyweight champ quickly set the record straight. Speaking on the speculation, Ngannou dismissed the idea entirely, saying the matchup made no sense from any angle. He acknowledged Davis's skills, but pointed out the obvious. The size and weight gap between him and Jake Paul's original opponent was far too extreme to take seriously. In short, Ngannou wasn't buying into the hype.
Więc Francis, widzimy, że twoje nazwisko pojawia się jako potencjalne zastępstwo za Gervonta Davisa. Musieliśmy udać się prosto do źródła. Co możesz nam powiedzieć? Czy istnieje możliwość, że Francis i Ngannou zastąpią Gervonta Davisa i będą walczyć z Jakiem Polem? Nie, nie ma takiej możliwości, w zasadzie nic takiego się nie dzieje, jak mogli przejść od Gervonta Davisa do Francisa Ngannou? Mam na myśli, że Gervonta Davis jest fantastycznym bokserem, ale i jest artystą, który potrafi nokautować, ale no weź, sposób, w jaki się różnią i wszystko, to nie ma sensu. Wiesz, Gervonta Davis, liczysz, mówisz, okej, rozmiar inny może awansować, ale na tym etapie dla mnie
Ngannou went on to reveal that Jake Paul's team actually did reach out to him about stepping in as a replacement. He explained that his manager contacted him saying they needed someone to fill in for Gervonta Davis, but at first, he didn't even understand what was being asked. When it became clear they were proposing a fight against Jake Paul, Ngannou said he was genuinely taken aback, even thinking it was a joke at first. He made it clear that no matter the offer, the idea didn't interest him. It wasn't about the money. He said that it simply didn't make sense for where he is in his career or what he's focused on next.
To nie ma sensu. Czy jednak się odezwali? Widzimy mnóstwo nazwisk, które są potencjalnymi przeciwnikami. Czy zespół Jaka skontaktował się z tobą i przynajmniej wyraził, czy jesteś zainteresowany? Tak. No cóż, Nisa odezwał się do mnie ostatnio i powiedział, że potrzebują zastępstwa za Gwantę. I no cóż, po wysłuchaniu nie rozumiałem. Wtedy powiedziałem, dobrze, co mogę dla ciebie zrobić? Co dokładnie? Odpowiedział, tak, szukamy zastępstwa, ale nadal go nie mam. Powiedziałem, dobrze, to co dokładnie mogę dla ciebie zrobić? On na to, tak, czy mogę, no cóż, czy możesz, no cóż, myślimy o tym, żebyś walczył z Jakiem? Ja na to, co? Powiedział, myślimy o tym, żebyś walczył z Jakiem, żeby zastąpić Chwantę. Zapytałem, kim jest Jake? Wiesz, byłem taki zdezorientowany, wiesz, no cóż, w ogóle się tego nie spodziewałem. A on na to, tak, Jake Paul, wiesz, on walczy. A ja na to, nie, stary. No dalej. Nie, no, to znaczy, nie okazuj mi takiego braku szacunku. A potem, no cóż, mówią, że nawet wychodzą i mówią, a co jeśli numer jest dobry? On wysyła jakiś numer. Ja na to, nie chodzi o numer. Gdyby chodziło o numer...
But the story didn't end with Ngannou turning down the offer. Instead, it only got messier. Soon after his interview, Jake Paul reignited the drama on social media, taking direct shots at the former UFC champion and accusing him of ducking the fight. Ngannou quickly fired back, warning Jake to watch his mouth and hinting that someone needed to humble him after his recent antics. What followed was a fiery back and forth between two of combat sport's biggest personalities, a war of words that instantly went viral and had fans wondering if this tension might eventually explode beyond Twitter. And then Chael Sonnen came in as the harshest critic of Francis Ngannou when the news of a potential pair-up came out, delivering a blunt explanation for why he's moved on from the former heavyweight champion. He said he simply can't make money with Ngannou anymore, describing him as someone with a limited audience that's hard to market. Sonnen added that one of his biggest frustrations is what he sees as Ngannou's lack of understanding about how the business side of fighting really works. Despite Ngannou's claims of earning huge paydays from bouts with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, Sonnen insisted those weren't true earnings but money given to him under different circumstances. In classic Chael fashion, his comments came off as part criticism, part tough love reality check, sparking fresh debate about Ngannou's career and business choices. So what do you make of all this chaos? With Gervonta Davis out and the headlines exploding, who do you think should step in next to face Jake Paul? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to stay locked in on all the latest fight news and drama, make sure to hit that subscribe button.